when we write a comparison between two quantities, then we call it as a ratio. When two similar quantities are written in comparison with each other, so we will know exactly what is the true picture of the relationship between the two numbers. Indirect proportion means an increase in one quantity leads to a decrease in other quantity. Hello everyone, I am Purnima, faculty in the Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. I welcome you all to this session. In this session, we will be having a discussion on ratios and proportions. So this is the third unit prescribed by the Mysuru University for both BCom and B.B.A. So in this ratios and proportions, in this session, let us have an introduction of what is a ratio. So when two quantities of the same kind are compared by expressing one as so many times or part of the other, it is called as a ratio. So when the two quantities of the same kind, so when there are two numbers of the same kind and one is expressed in comparison to the other, then we call those numbers as ratio. Hence, ratio is a comparative measure between two quantities of the same kind expressed with the same units. So a ratio is a comparative measure of two quantities expressed in the same units. Only then we call it as a ratio. If A and B are two quantities of the same kind, the ratio of A and B is expressed as A to B or A is to B or A by B. A ratio is a pure number. So, a ratio is a pure number. So, a team of 24 men and another team of 12 men. Here, the first term has 24 by 12 or 2 by 1 times the number of men in the second team, and it is written as 2:1. Suppose I tell the ratio of boys and girls in a class. Suppose it is a class of 50 students and there are 25 boys and 25 girls, then I can say that the ratio of boys and girls in the class is 1:1. Suppose in the class of around 30 students, there are 20 boys and 10 girls, then we can say that the ratio of boys and girls in that class is 2:1. That is, boys are twice in number than the girls. So, when we write a comparison between two quantities, then we call it as a ratio. And the ratio, though the ratio is a pure number, when it is expressed in comparison to some other number, it gives a better understanding of the numbers which are expressed. Now, a ratio is an expression of two similar quantities. So, when two similar quantities are written in comparison with each other, so we will know exactly what is the true picture of the relationship between the two numbers. So, we can express the relationship of height of one person with that of the other person, but not the weight of the other person. So, if you are giving the height of one person, then we can compare it with the height of another person only. But if you are giving the weight of one person, you have to compare it with the weight of the other person. So, whatever the quantities are given, they should be expressed in the same quantities, and only then it makes a meaningful comparison. So, in ratio A is to B, A is called the first component known as the antecedent. So, in A is to B, A will be the antecedent and B is the consequent. So, this first number, whatever is expressed in the ratio, that is called as the antecedent and B is called as the consequent. The terms of ratios can be divided or multiplied by a non-zero number. So, the terms of ratios can be multiplied or divided by a non-zero number. Then, if two ratios are equal, they are said to be in proportion. Now, let us understand what is the meaning of the word proportion. So, proportion means when two ratios are equal, we call it as the proportion. Further, if two ratios are equal, they are said to be in direct proportion. So, when two ratios are equal, they are in direct proportion. So, four quantities A, B, C and D are said to be in proportion if A by B is equal to C by D, and A, B, C and D are called the first, second, third and fourth proportion respectively. So, the A by B is equal to C by D. So, that will be the proportion. In other words, the equality of two ratios are called proportions. So, when two ratios are equal, we call it as a proportion, and they are said to be in a proportion when the product of two extremes are equal to the product of two means. That is, A is to B is to C is to D. Now, this A and D, they are called as the extremes, and this B and C, they are called as the means. So, we should understand that A is the first proportion, B is the second proportion, C is the third proportion and D is the fourth proportion. So, A, D equals B, C. So, A into D equals B into C. Next, let us understand what is a compound ratio. If A is to B and C is to D are two ratios, then AC is to BD are compound in nature. So, if A is to B and C is to D are two ratios, then A into C, that is, if you multiply A into C and B into D, then we get a compound ratio. Now, for example, the ratio of 4 is to 8 and 3 is to 4. Now, 4 by 8 into 3 by 4. Now, this becomes a compound ratio when I multiply these two ratios. So, 4 3s are 12, 8 4s are 32. Now, this 12 by 32, this is a compound ratio. This is a compound ratio. Then, let us understand what is the meaning of direct proportion. So, quantities are said to be in direct proportion if and only if the increase or decrease in one quantity directly proportional to the other. So, increase or decrease in one quantity is directly proportional to the other. For example, if the total wages of the workers increases, the total number of hours or days worked also increases proportionately. So, in the following case, suppose here the hours worked is 1, the wages will be 100. Suppose he has worked for 2 hours, then he will be paid 200 rupees. If he has worked for 3.5 hours, then he will be paid 350 rupees. So, in this case, we notice that as the number of hours worked, it increases, the wages earned also increases. Now, let us look into what is indirect proportion or inverse proportion. The quantities are said to be in inverse proportion if and only if there is an increase in one quantity leads to the decreases in the other quantity. Now, indirect proportion means an increase in one quantity leads to a decrease in other quantity. For example, if the supply increases, then the price falls. So, they are inversely proportional. Example, speed of the train and hours taken to reach the destination. If the speed of the train increases, the hours taken will decrease. So, consider the following. So, the distance is 150 kilometers. If you are going at 50 kilometers per hour speed, then the time taken is 3 hours. So, if it is, the distance remains the same, but if you are traveling at a speed of 100 kilometers, then the time taken will be 1.5 hours. But again, the distance is same, the speed is, if the speed increases, then we can travel it in 1 hour. So, in this case, we notice that as the speed of the train increases, the time taken will be decreased. Then, the next part is what is continued proportion. A number of quantities are said to be in continued proportion if first is to the second is equal to the third and so on. For example, if A, B, C, D are in continued proportion, then A by B equals B by C equals C by D equals D by E and so on. So, this is a continued proportion. If there are three quantities, namely A, B and C are in continued proportion, then A by B equals B by C. Therefore, B square equals AC and B equals root of A. So, this is one thing which we have to remember. So, in a continued proportion, A by B equals B by C. Therefore, B square equals AC. Then, find the compound ratio of 2:3, 3:5 and 7:9. So, if we have to find the compound ratio, 2 by 3 into 3 by 5 into 7 by 9. So, when you multiply all this, 2 3s are 6, 6 7s are 42. 42 divided by 3 5s are 15, 15 9s are 135. So, this is a compound ratio. So, when you multiply all the ratios together, we get the compound ratio. Then, find the compound ratio of 4:5 and duplicate ratio of 3:5. Now, we have to find the compound ratio of 4:5. So, we write it as 4 by 5. And what is the duplicate ratio of 3:5? Now, the duplicate ratio is the ratio itself. The duplicate ratio of 3:5 is 3:5 only. Okay. So, when I write the duplicate, it becomes 3 square equals 5 square, that is 9:25. Now, I have to compound this. 4 by 5 into 9 by 25. 4 9s are 36 divided by 125 is the answer. So, find the compound ratio of 4:5 and the duplicate ratio of 3:5. Next one. 3 persons A, B and C invest rupees 1,50,000, 1 lakh and rupees 50,000 respectively in a business. The total profit earned by them is 36 lakhs. What is Amar's profit? So, we have to divide this profit given here. So, what is the profit given here? Profit equals 36 lakhs. Now, we have the various investments. So, A's investment, what has he invested? Rupees 1,50,000. Then, B's investment is 1 lakh. Then, C's investment is 50,000. Now, we have to see what is A's profit. Now, this can be expressed as, so when we simplify this, we will get the answer as 15, 10 and 5. So, this is, in other words, I can write it as 3, 5 1s are, 5 2s are, 5 3s are. So, they are all multiples of 5. So, I can write it as 3:2:1. Now, the ratio, the sum of the ratios equals 3:2:1. So, 3 plus 2 plus 1, that is equal to 6. Now, we have to divide 36 lakhs into 3 by 6. So, 3 by 6, that is half of 36 lakhs. So, that comes up to 18 lakhs. So, this is the share of Amar. This is the share of Amar. So, Amar's profit is 18 lakhs. Then, now if we can see here, Babu's profit will be, it will be 2 by 6. So, 1/3 of that. So, it comes up to 13 lakhs. then the remaining profit will be of C. Now let us go to the next problem. Fourth problem, A and B started business by investing rupees 10 lakhs and 15 lakhs respectively. Find the share of each out of a profit of 7 lakhs 20,000. Now we see that A is to B. Now let us observe the investment of A and B. So investment of A is 10 lakhs and B is 15 lakhs. Find the share of each. So when we simplify both of this, I get 10 is to 15. Now if I simplify this number further, I get 2 is to 3. Now we have to find the share of profit of each of them for a profit of 7,20,000. Now what is the profit given? Profit is 7,20,000. Now I have to find the profit of A. So A's profit equals 7,20,000 into 2 by 5. So this sum of the ratio will be 2 plus 3, that is equal to 5. So when A's profit will be 7,20,000 into 2 by 5. So this comes up to 5 ones are 5, 5 fours are 20, 5 fours are 20, 0, 0, 0. 1,44,000 into 2. So that comes up to 2,88,000. So this is the share of A's profit. Now B's profit will be equal to 7,20,000 into 3 by 5. Into 3 by 5. Again we simplify this, I get 1,44,000 into 3. So this when I multiply, so 3 zeros are 0, 3 zeros are 0, 3 zeros are 0. 3 fours are 12, borrow 1, 3 fours are 12, 13, 3, 1, 3 ones are 3, 4. So 4,32,000. So this is the share of B. So his share of profit is 4,32,000. Share of A's profit is 2,88,000. Then next one, A and B invested in a business. They earned some profit and divided it in the ratio of 2:3. If A's investment is 40,000, find the investment of Mr. B. So, A and B invested in a business, they earned some profit and divided it in the ratio of 2:3. If A's investment is 40,000, find the amount of investment of B. So, let us work out this problem. Now, let us go to the next problem here. So, in this problem, divide rupees 63,000 among 4 persons A, B, C and D so that A is to B is 2:3, B is to C is 4:5 and C is to D is equal to 6:7. Now, when we are given ratios of this, we have to try to see that we get the ratio of A, B, C and D. Now, we are given that A is to B equals 2:3 and B is to C equals 4:5. Now, here the ratio of B is 3 and here the ratio of B is 4. Now, how do we equate this B here? Now, I will multiply this first ratio by 4 and the second ratio by 3. So, this first ratio I will be multiplying it by 4 and this ratio I will multiply by 3. So, what is the answer I am getting? 4 2s are 8 is to 3 4s are 12 and again here 3 4s are 12 is to 3 5s are 15. So, we get a common ratio here, that is B is common. So, A is to B is 8 is to 12. So, 12 12 and 12 are common here. So it will be easy for us. So I can write A is to B is to C will be equal to 8 is to 12 is to 15. Now, they have given us the C is to D ratio. Again, we have to find the ratio of C. Now, C is to D is equal to 6 is to 7. Now, now C is 15 here and C is 6 here. Now, we have to equate this C here. So, what I will do is, this ratio I'll multiply it by 6 and this ratio I'll multiply it by 15. So, what will be the answer? Here into 6, so 6 8s are 48 is to 12 6s are 72 is to 15 6s are 90. Then 15 6s are 90 is to 15 7s are 105. Now we can see that the ratio of C is same. Now if I can write this ratio, I'll write it as A is to B is to C is to D. That will be equal to 48 is to 72 is to 90 is to 105. Now we have all the ratios which are in same proportion. So now we can just simplify we can just divide the profit whatever is given. Now if you can see here, so we will just divide this number. So when I add all the ratios, 48 plus 72 plus 90 plus 105. So I'll write sum of ratios. Sum of ratios equals 48 plus 72 plus 90 plus 105. So I add 48 plus 72. 8 plus 2, 10, borrow 1, 7 plus 5, 12. So 120 plus 90, 210 plus 105. So this will be 315. So the sum of ratios is 315. Now I will have to share 63,000. Now A's share will be equal to, so what is the new ratio? 48 by 315. I'll write it as 48 divided by 315 into 63,000. Then next, B's share will be, again what is B's ratio? 72 by 315 into 63,000. Then next one, C's ratio is 90. So C's share will be, C's share will be 90 by 315 into 63,000. Then D's share will be 105 by 315 into 63,000. So what is the answer we are getting? When we simplify this 48 by 315 into 63,000, I get the answer as 9,600. Now this, the answer is 14,400. Then the next will be 18,000 and the last one is 21,000. So this 63,000 we have divided in between A, B, C and D in the ratio, and A is getting 9,600, B is getting 14,400, C is getting 18,000 and D is getting 21,000. So next, let us see the next problem. Find x given 20 is to 80 is as to x is to 400 by the definition. So we know that the product of the means is equal to the product of the extremes. So means equals 80 into x, that is 80x 20 into 400, that will be equal to 8,000. Okay, now we know that 80x is equal to 8,000. X will be equal to 8,000 by 80. X will be equal to 100. So, X is equals 100. So, this is the answer. If the total profit of the business is 94,000, then find the share of three partners, namely Kiran, Karthik and Naveen. If 6 times Kiran's capital equals 8 times Karthik's capital equals 10 times Naveen's capital. So, let Kiran's capital be equal to A, Karthik's capital is equal to B and Naveen's capital equals C. Now what is given? 6 times Kiran's capital into 6. Now 8 times Karthik's capital, then 10 times Naveen's capital. So this they have given as 6A equals 8B equals 10C. Now, I will equate it to a constant x. So, I will equate all this to x. So, 6a equals 8b equals 10c equals x. Now, if I have to find a will be equal to x by 6, b will be equal to x by 8, c will be equal to x by 10. Now, we just take the LCM of this. So, the LCM of this will be 480. 6 8s are 48. 48 into 10 is 480. Now, 80x is to 60x is to 48x. So, this is the ratio we are getting of Kiran, Karthik and Naveen. Now 80x is to 60x is to 48x. So this is the ratio. So I will write this ratio as, I'll write it again, 80x is to 60x is to 48x. Now this entire ratios I will divide it by 4. I have written this 80x is to 60x is to 48x. So, I have written it as 80x is to 60x is to 48x divided by 4. Now, when we divide it by 4, I get 20 is to 15 is to 12. Now, this is the ratio in which we have to divide this total profit. Now, when I add all these ratios, I get 20 plus 15 plus 12. So, this is equal to 47 and in this Kiran's share will be 20 by 47 into 94,000. Then Karthik's share will be 15 by 47 into 94,000. Then Naveen's share will be 12 by 47 into 94,000. So, when we simplify all this, we get the answer as, now when we simplify 90,000 by 47 into 94,000, I get it as 40,000, 30,000, when we simplify all these terms, 20 by 47 into 94,000, I get 40,000. 15 by 47 into 90,000, I get 30,000. Then 12 by 47 into 90,000, I get the answer as 24,000. So, this is the answer. Now, we have shared this 94,000 among Kiran, Karthik and Naveen. So, 40,000, 30,000 and 24,000. Now, let us see this problem. If the ratios of the speed of the two train is 2:3 and the first train runs 150 kilometers in 2 hours, what is the speed of the second train? Now I will write, let the ratio of speed of first train be equal to 2x. So it is given as 2:3. I take it as 2x. The ratio speed of the second train equals 3x. Now what they have given, the speed of 2x. 2x is 150. So we will get answer. So 150 by 2. So x equals 75. So what is the speed of the second train? The speed of the first train is 75 kilometers per hour. Now, what is the speed of the second train? So, x equals 75. So, 3x will be 3 into 75. So, 3 5s are 15, 5 1, 3 7s are 22. The speed of the second train will be 225 kilometers per hour. So 3 into 75, that is 225 kilometers per hour. I'll explain this again. Let the ratio of the speed of the first train be 2x and the ratio of the speed of the second train be 3x. So 2x equals 50, x will be equal to 150 by 2, that is equal to 75 kilometers per hour. So when we know that x is 75, 3x will be 3 into 75, that is 225 kilometers per hour. Then, so the two numbers are in the ratio of 2:3. If 5 is subtracted from each number, the ratio becomes 3:5. Find the numbers. So, let the numbers be 2x and 3x. Now, what is given here? So, if 5 is subtracted, so what is given? 2x minus 5 equals by 3 and 3x minus 5 equals 3 by 5. So, 2x minus 5 equals 3, 3x minus 5 equals 5. Now, we cross multiply these two equations. So, 5 into 2x minus 5 equals 3 into 3x minus 5. So, 5 2s are 10x minus 25 equals 9x minus 15. So, 10x minus 9x will be equal to minus 15 plus 25. So, 10x minus 9x equals x equals 10 is the answer. Now, find the numbers. So, the numbers will be 2 into 10 equals 20. 3 into 10 equals 30. Now, if we are minusing minus 5, 20 minus 5, I get 15. 30 minus 5, I get 25. So, this is in the ratio of 3:5. 5 3s are 15, 5 5s are 25. Now, Mr. Babu started a business investing rupees 6 lakhs. 6 months later, Chandru joined him in investing rupees 4 lakhs. If they made a profit of rupees 52,000 at the end of the year, how much must be the share of both? So, we will take the product of the investment. So, product of investment will be equal to, so 6 lakhs into 12 months. That will be equal to 72 lakhs. Then next, this is B. Now C, it will be 4 lakhs into 6. So that will be 24 lakhs. Now, when we consider the ratio of this, so it will be 3:1. So 3:1 ratio. Now we have the profit here, 52,000 into 3 by 4. Then again, so this will be B's share. Now C's share will be 52,000 into 1 by 4. So when we simplify this, 4 ones are 4 threes are. So this will be 13,000 and here it is 39,000. So we have divided this 52,000 in the A's and B's investment and also considering the time of investment. With this, we come to the end of this session. Hope you have all followed. Thank you.